What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the real reason why Finn Balor was kicked out of the Judgment Day. Could WWE pull out of Saudi Arabia? WWE cancel a Hell in a Cell match? LA Knight left off WrestleMania? Brock Lesnar refusing to lose? WWE's response to the CODY backlash? WWE wants Stone Cold Steve Austin to return next week, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number 1, the IC title gauntlet. Over 30 minutes was dedicated to the women's gauntlet on Raw last night, and it was a total treat. Once again, the Women's Intercontinental title is presented as one of the most superior titles in the entire company, and associating names such as AJ Lee and Becky Lynch to the title has done wonders when it comes to the credibility of it. Bayley would end up winning the gauntlet, and now a dream match between her and AJ Lee is set. Number 2, Danhausen. WWE has seemingly worked out how to effectively present Danhausen. Danhausen is used in short backstage comedic segments, and they're starting to get an extremely positive reaction from the live crowd. This week, Danhausen was even used during the Raw commercial break to keep the crowd alive, which is naturally a great fit for the outlandish character. Number 3, it's a simple formula. 7 days into Penta's Intercontinental title reign, and he's already had a defense under his belt. This is the way WWE keeps a reign interesting, by booking continuous defenses on television. Dominic Mysterio was called out for never defending the title, so it's fantastic to see WWE taking a different approach with Penta's reign with the gold. Number 4, the Usos confront CM Punk. Now, it was only natural that when CM Punk brought up Roman Reigns' father Sika last week on Raw, that the Usos were going to have an issue with it. The segment between all three parties main evented Raw, and although this definitely should have featured Roman Reigns, it was a logical progression of the storyline. All three did a great job, and it's interesting that WWE is giving Punk a heel edge heading into WrestleMania this year. Number 5, the Judgment Day implode. Well, it's official, Finn Balor has been booted out of the Judgment Day. In a fantastic in-ring segment, Balor would take issue with Dominic Mysterio before JD McDonough, Liv Morgan and Mysterio issued a severe beatdown on the former Universal Champion. This now sets the stage for WrestleMania, and it's been widely reported that Balor will take on Dominic Mysterio. Based on the nature of the beatdown, it's looking more likely than ever that Balor brings the Demon Persona back for this match, as Balor will look to seek revenge on Mysterio at the biggest show of the year. Well, that was a good. What about the bad? Is number 1, Masked Man goofiness. On another week, another instance of the Masked Man storyline dominating Raw. The opening segment featured a ton of them, and whilst it's clear that WWE thinks this is the most interesting storyline on the show, this just isn't the case. The storyline is stale, and it's highlighting that WWE are running out of ideas. I mean, maybe it's just me and I'm probably showing my age here, but these look like those enemies in the Power Rangers series, you know, the putty patrollers. They're all just comically shuffling around. And that definitely wasn't Seth Rollins. Is Obafemi doing side missions now? I mean, this is actually crazy. Every version of the Vision stable, even from the very beginning with the OG members, has had some masked man attached to it, or masked lady if you're talking about Becky Lynch. We've had Austin Theory as the masked attacker, 2 of Seth Rollins' trainees, as well as Seth Rollins himself. At this point, you got to question Triple H and whether he has a mask fetish. And number 2, Rusev squashed. And whilst nobody expected Rusev to defeat Obafemi on Raw, nobody expected Rusev to lose in just 3 minutes. Whilst a strong presentation of Femi makes sense, Rusev's second run has been a total flop so far, and he's definitely in need of a repackaging. Just remember, this is the guy who also lasted about 30 seconds this Royal Rumble. What the hell is going on with his booking? There's nothing downright ugly that stood on the show this week. The show moved forward with the majority of central storylines heading into WrestleMania, and now we finally have the implosion of the Judgment Day. Also, a lot of the long-standing storylines in the company are finally getting their payoff. What do you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at the real reason why Finn Balor was kicked out of the Judgment Day. Looks at the fallout from last night's Raw, specifically why WWE made the call to have the Judgment Day implode. Last night on Raw, after what seems like a decade, Finn Balor was finally given the boot. Balor would be booted out of his own faction by the rest of the Judgment Day. But why exactly did WWE do this now, and what are the long-term plans for Balor? Well, there were actually 3 crucial reasons why WWE made the call to deliver this shocking segment. The first, it plants the seeds for WrestleMania. Finn Balor vs Dominic Mysterio was previously locked in for SummerSlam. When WWE pivoted, like they always do in this day and age, it was assumed that the match would now take place at WrestleMania. For the match to occur, a breakup needed to take place. Whilst early last year it looked like Mysterio was going to be the babyface in the feud, it has now switched and Mysterio is now back to being a dastardly heel. Number 2, it allows Balor to turn face. Finn Balor is without a doubt a babyface act now. Balor came across as an incredibly sympathetic character on the show, and after his highly regarded match versus CM Punk, Balor is destined for the babyface role. And number 3, it allows a new member of the Judgment Day to come into the fold. Now that Balor has been booted out of the faction, the group has a free slot, and Triple H loves inserting names into factions, so it shouldn't come as a big surprise to see a high-profile name replace Balor in the coming weeks. But just who should replace him? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, could WWE cancel Saudi Arabia shows? Due to the war in the Middle East, there's been social media rumors that WWE may want to avoid hosting a show in Saudi Arabia anytime soon. WWE is set to host another PLE in the country in the next few months, and according to Fightful Select's Q&A series, this will still be going ahead and will take a lot for the event to be cancelled. Nope, the event is taking place in Saudi Arabia. There are no plans to host it elsewhere. Anything is possible, but it would take a lot more for the event to not happen there. It's going to be in Saudi Arabia. There's too much money involved for WWE to move it. If they haven't already extended the deal with Saudi, they will want to. WWE is set to host a number of shows in Saudi Arabia over the next year or so, and of course, the country will host WrestleMania 43 next April. Next up, WWE cancelled a Hell in a Cell match. Now we all know that WWE had changed WrestleMania plans a handful of times this year, and now it's been reported that a significant gimmick match was scrapped. According to PW Insider Elite, WWE had planned to deliver Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes inside Hell in a Cell. Since WWE pulled the trigger on Cody Rhodes regaining the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre this past Friday on SmackDown in order to set up Cody versus Randy Orton, PW Insider Elite has been asked what the original plan was for Rhodes and McIntyre at WrestleMania. In asking around, we learned that the pitch making the rounds was for Rhodes versus Drew to face off inside a Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania. If they had gone down that route, they could have played off their respective injuries in the cell and that McIntyre won the belt in a steel cage match. Now in relation to what's now on the table for McIntyre, as expected, McIntyre will face Jacob Fatu. Instead, Cody will face Orton while McIntyre appears to be set for a bout against Jacob Fatu. Injuries leading to WWE restructuring the card obviously factored into WWE's pivot. If WWE proceed with a Hell in a Cell match, this would have marked the first Cell match since 2024, which was of course McIntyre vs CM Punk. Whilst it would have been great to see a Cell match at WrestleMania this year, this screams desperate. The feud between the two top stars was incredibly stale, and inserting them into a Hell in a Cell match wouldn't have exactly helped the progression of their rivalry. It'll be interesting to see if WWE still uses a Cell, as it's possible that they already arranged to bring the Cell to WrestleMania this year. So if that's the case, it's possible that another heated feud uses the concept. Roman Reigns vs CM Punk is certainly getting there in terms of intensity and drama, so it wouldn't come as much of a shock for WWE to go all out on that particular feud. There's also some news in why WWE have heavily pivoted and are now delivering Cody Rhodes vs Randy Orton at WrestleMania 42. According to Selfmade Pro, he mentioned Cody Rhodes knew that was the match that was happening for a while. Cody Rhodes as early as February knew he was facing Randy. It's also believed that Cody Rhodes was heavily pushing for the match himself, and I can tell you that Cody Rhodes did push for Randy because he believed that was a big time matchup. Could WWE even still go with the Cell and have Cody Rhodes vs Randy Orton in a Hell in a Cell match? Next up, LA Knight left off WrestleMania. Now, there is concern that LA Knight could be left off WrestleMania this year. Certain WrestleMania matches remain in flux, and this is mainly down to Bron Breakker's injury. WWE wants to deliver Breakker vs Seth Rollins, but if Breakker isn't cleared in time for WrestleMania, this puts WWE in a difficult spot. The Usos are reportedly set to take on The Vision, and if Breakker isn't cleared, it's possible that Rollins faces Brock Lesnar, so Lesnar can avenge Paul Heyman. This concern isn't just being shared by fans, as WrestleVotes is reporting that WWE is facing a huge problem. It really starts with Seth Rollins and who his opponent's going to be. WWE's waiting on Bron Breakker, then you got Bron and Seth, Brock Lesnar versus LA Knight, and you got The Vision against the Usos. But if Bron Breakker can't go, now you're looking at Seth Rollins. Is it Brock Lesnar avenging Paul Heyman's attack? We're waiting on Brock Lesnar because of Bron Breakker. This open challenge will be open until they got word on whether Bron is ready or not. The report added that LA is ultimately the odd man out. They could bring Seth or LA Knight, but LA Knight might be trouble here creatively if it's Brock versus Seth and The Vision versus the Usos. The odd man out unfortunately will be LA Knight if Bron Breakker can't go. But there's no way WWE leaves one of the hottest acts in the company off the show, right? Well, stranger things have happened, and if Breakker isn't medically cleared, it's going to be difficult to find a spot for LA Knight on the card. It's possible that WWE moves the annual Battle Royal to the actual WrestleMania broadcast, but this Battle Royal means absolutely nothing, so LA Knight definitely deserves a bigger match on the grand stage. Next up, WWE's response to Cody Rhodes' Backlash. Now, the Backlash to Cody Rhodes' WWE title win dominated discourse over the weekend, and now a new report via WrestleVotes has offered insight into WWE's response. According to WrestleVotes, there's no backlash backstage to Rhodes being back at the top, as he's the guy that has led the company for years, so it's only natural that he eventually wins the title back. No real backlash, people backstage aren't really displeased that Cody Rhodes is back on top, the guy who's led the company for the past couple of years. WWE is sometimes keen to respond to social media backlash in their booking, but when it comes to Rhodes, he's a proven commodity in the role, so it's unlikely that anything of note changes anytime soon. It's also worth noting that WWE has pivoted so many times already this year, and if they pivot again over social media backlash, then the WrestleMania plans will be in complete disarray. Next up is Brock Lesnar refusing to lose. Now it seems that Brock Lesnar may be refusing to lose another match before retiring from WWE, leading to a bit of a complicated situation for WWE and its future storylines. According to a report on Self-Made, Lesnar and his longtime advocate Paul Heyman have reportedly communicated to WWE officials and the creative team that Lesnar should remain undefeated until he eventually retires. This creates a huge booking problem for WrestleMania 42. WWE reportedly wants to schedule major dream matches for Lesnar that fans would be excited to see. These include matches against Gunther and Obafemi. However, in both of these match types, Lesnar would have to lose, which goes against his current wishes. Now, Lesnar at this point in his career needs to be passing on the torch to somebody else, and refusing to lose creates a big problem. This could also be one of the key reasons why WWE has not finalized his WrestleMania opponent. Next up, WWE wants Stone Cold Steve Austin to return next week. And next week is 3/16 Day, and WWE wants Stone Cold Steve Austin to return for the event itself. According to WrestleVotes live Q&A on Fightful Select, WWE is very hopeful that Stone Cold Steve Austin will make an appearance on next week's Raw. There's reportedly been conversations between Stone Cold and WWE for him to appear on 3/16 Day. Now, if Stone Cold Steve Austin does return, it would lead to a massive pop. And finally, a WWE return on the horizon. Our final story today looks at injury news relating to a WWE star. Zoe Stark has been out of action for some time now, and we finally have an update on her condition. According to Fightful Select's Q&A series, Stark has been rehabbing at the WWE PC and should be back in a few months' time. She's been rehabbing and has been at the WWE PC, which isn't out of the ordinary. That's where the majority of talent prepare at and do their physical therapy after injuries, considering a large percentage of them live in Orlando. I wouldn't expect her back for another few months. Now, this is positive news, and we hope Stark's rehab is a success. But there you have it, folks, our look at Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.